Hi everyone, I'm Varun, and today I'll be doing a deep dive into ruleset mechanics on Tabletop Mirror. I'll cover ruleset context, entity fields, and the editor. So what is a context? When a user is logged into Tabletop Mirror, they always have an active ruleset. By default, this is a user preference on their profile, but they can always manually change it. Given that active ruleset, we set up a context so that everything they see is filtered to their system's content only, automatically. We also use this framework to determine who can and can't legalize entries and mark them accordingly, though modules, which will be covered in a future deep dive, allow game masters to legalize things for their campaigns specifically. Creating things under a ruleset also imposes restrictions on how those things work and what fields are required. Next, let's take a look at what a ruleset actually is. Here, we can see the general editing page for a ruleset. Across the top, you see all of the different categories of rules that TTM supports. In future deep dives, we'll go through each of these categories in greater detail, but for now, let's take a look at this general rules page. Here, we can see a markdown supported description of our rules, the units of time involved in our system, and the way bonuses interact. Jumping over to the Magic tab, we see an area to customize our spell previews and overviews. All rule entities on TTM can be customized in their look and feel to match your system's specific genre and atmosphere. In future deep dives, we'll revisit this content in more detail, but for now, let's walk through the basics of creating a ruleset. We start by clicking the Create Ruleset button. In the dialog that comes up, we name our ruleset and click Create. This gives us a very basic default ruleset. From Edit mode, we give our new ruleset a description. Like with all content on TTM, this field fully supports Markdown. Next, we take on the bonus configuration settings. These options determine how bonuses of any kind are handled in the context of this system. We can use it to determine when and how numbers are rounded, as well as whether identical bonus types should stack. If your system doesn't have bonus types, you can ignore this, or repurpose this setting for a different use case. Lastly, on this page, we specify the time units of our system. These units are lore independent and are used for things like casting time or speed calculations. For this demo, we'll set up a basic 6-point turn system. Now normally, I could click save here, but instead I'm going to activate autosave and go to the sharing tab. Notice how it automatically saved my ruleset. Now here on the sharing tab, we can share view, edit, and delete permissions publicly, privately, or individually. This is the basic sharing mechanism that is present on all entities in TTM. Now that we've created a basic ruleset, we can see that our newly made system is viewable by us, including Markdown rendering. It is now also a valid choice for ruleset contexts for anyone with access. That's all for the basic mechanisms behind rulesets and contexts. In future deep dives, we will cover the parts of the ruleset we didn't look at today and build up our own basic system from the ground up. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing to our YouTube or subreddit so you can stay up to date and catch our Kickstarter. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.